Thank you for joining me today on Good News with Twanda Black, where we're discovering some of the most inspiring trials to triumph stories and empowerment moments. Call up a friend and let them know it's time for some good news. Hello and welcome to Good News. I'm Twanda Black, your host. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this guest for today. Welcome to the show. I'm Twanda Black, and I have with me singer-songwriter Kevin Dunn. He's out of South Georgia, and just a great man of God. How are you today, Kevin?
I'm doing wonderful. Hope all is well with you, and thank you so much for taking the time out to interview me.
Absolutely. I've known about your ministry for some years now. I always tell a story about I first heard you at somebody's church and you were playing and singing. That's had to be 15 years ago or longer. And it was down in the LaGrange, Alabama area. I can't remember the church, but I was like, who is that young man? Did he record? I was asking questions about you and everything. But it's been a while. Tell us about your background, a little bit about your background.
I'm 53 years old. I was born and raised in Lynette, Alabama.
Okay.
Which is about 70 miles south of Atlanta. Actually born and raised there, went to Valley High School, finished high school, went to broadcasting school in Atlanta. Came back, started working, and eventually I got married. We have 5 kids. We have a blended family. I was married for 20 years, and my wife passed back in 2016. And so now just raising the kids right now, and only have one at home who's left at home, and he's 16. And he has me pretty busy. He has me rolling, but it's all good though. And he's the last one, so I'm just trying to be all in, before I'm an empty nester.
Yes.
Yeah.
That comes sooner than you know, but
it really does.
Me, when my empty nester thing came along, I was so busy that, and I still miss them, sort of.
Right.
But I was so busy, I didn't mind it. So it was good.
Awesome.
Yeah. So let's talk about your singing career. When did you start singing?
Well, I always have to go back to where it all started. Many years ago, watching the episode on Good Times when Michael performed "You and I" at Thelma's wedding. That was that just touched me in a way I just can't describe. And once watching that first episode, I knew that I wanted to sing at my sister's wedding, whenever she got married. And it was many years later. So I think they've been married now about 32 years. But she actually allowed me to sing at her wedding. And the first time I ever had a solo where I performed in public. And I secretly practiced with a high school friend of mine. And I sung "We're Going All the Way" by Jeffrey Osborne.
Oh, wow.
And that's where it actually started. That was the conduit that God had me to enter to, that I had a gift. And so many people were shocked. Here's this quiet, reserved guy who hardly said anything. And, here he is now singing. So basically that's where it started. And then many years after working at a facility, Sherwood Packaging, I worked there for 12 years. And they experienced a layoff, and of course I knew I had a gift. I had been singing at weddings and things and doing all of that. But after that layoff, I'm like, okay, I got a gift. Let me volunteer. Let me serve people like I saw my mom and dad serve. And so that's when
Did you sing in church?
Oh yeah, after that I began to sing.
After.
Yeah, after that, because when I was in the youth choir, I had some solo parts, but when it came to me, they became instrumentals. I would not say anything. But after the layoff, that's when I had a friend of mine who knew someone in the recording industry to, for me to present what I had, just to see if
you had
what it takes.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of people, you hear people singing and people like, man, they can sing. And, some people don't really have that gift, but people say they really can sing. So I wanted to see if I had it. So was introduced to someone, and that's when I recorded my first 3-song CD. So he liked everything that I had.
Yeah. I remember that CD.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good morning, have you ever, and under his wings.
Right. It was like a long time ago.
Yes, time flies.
Yeah.
I guess we're having a lot of fun. That's why time is flying.
Yes. So, you kind of took a little hiatus. Well, let's talk about where you served first. Then we're talking about the hiatus part. You began to go into some of the nursing homes there. And I know some of those nursing homes. I've been in them as well to visit. So talk about that. What made you go into the nursing homes?
Well, actually, it was hospice. I had originally wanted to go in the nursing home. And there's a specific area here in LaGrange. I was at this traffic light one morning taking the kids to Holly Pan. And that voice, God's voice, said hospice, and I immediately said, "Oh no, I can't go there because people go there to die." And I'm a very compassionate person, and I knew I did not want to get close to people who could eventually pass on. Mm-hmm. But after a couple of confirmations I received, one being at that stoplight, and a couple of things my sister told me, I actually made a call and talked with the hospice volunteer coordinator. And, that's where it all started. And so I went in and just going in to serve, you never know how, you don't think about how long you're going to be there. I just wanted to be faithful to something that God has blessed me with, because I saw my mom and dad. I just saw them give back so much. So I just knew I wanted to be faithful in what I did. So I've been there, up until last year, 17 years, going in once a week. Mm-hmm. And of course, the second week in March of 2020, that's when they stopped allowing volunteers to come into the building. But it's just been one of those, and it was a very private part of my life at first, because it was just something I was passionate about. And the reason I say that, because after a few years, went around, someone wanted to do a story on it, and I kind of struggled with that, because it was just, I didn't talk about it. It was just being a blessing to the family. But, God says sometimes, okay, people need to see what you're doing. So maybe you can encourage others, to give their services to help people as well.
I remember that story in the LaGrange newspaper, right? Yeah.
Wow, you are good.
Yes, I saw it. I said, that's Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So little did you know, though, this serving in hospice was setting you up for preparing you for something big that happened in your life. So talk about that for a moment.
As I said earlier about my wife passed back in 2016. In 2016, I had been serving at hospice for about 14 years. And my wife, after seeing a lot of changes, well, she was placed on hospice home care after several hospital stays. Found out the last thing we needed to do was just get her on hospice home care. So I was all for that, because I know what they do, I know what they offer. But here it is, 14 years, and I've never sat down in the facility before. I'm always standing in the pod singing. So here I am one day sitting where others have sat for so many years that God allowed me to minister to them. And I'm like, wow. And I had some questions, with God, like we all do, but some things we don't understand. And I'm like, God, you blessed me with this gift, but if there's one place that I've served you faithfully, it's been here at hospice. Surely you didn't bring us here to allow my wife to pass. Surely you didn't do that. And so I began to wrestle with God, and of course I talked with a few people. A former pastor of mine, I talked with him, and he always calls me Dunn. He said, Dunn, he said, could it be that the 14 years that you served here prepared you for this moment? And when he said that, I began to look at it in a different light. And I was like, yes, everything that I've been through has prepared me for this moment. And the grace of God has favored me and my family so much through her passing, with the ministry at hospice. And but it was so surreal, you going into a place for so many years, and then you're in the place, but you're in a different place in the place.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so, but it was a blessing, and I think I took maybe a month off after her passing because I couldn't stop. God didn't want that.
Yeah, you got stuff to do.
Exactly, and my wife would not have wanted that as well.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
She was so supportive.
Did you get to sing to her?
Oh yes, I sung to her, and she would get on me sometimes when we would be out at events or weddings. And it's like, girl, I bet he just sings to you all the time. She's like, no, he don't. So I was kind of lacking in that department. But yeah, I had the chance to sing to her. And I remember even, when my mom passed back in 2009, I remember singing at her bedside.
Wow.
And I remember, hospice, prepared me for that because, the favor of God allowed me to handle this the way I handled it, but it was a blessing. So yeah, I did sing to her because one thing we've learned in our training at hospice that the hearing is always the last thing that goes. Mm-hmm. So so we were able to communicate.
What was your favorite song? Give us a few bars of your favorite song while you were ministering in hospice.
A few bars, okay. When peace like a river attended my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul.
That's beautiful. That's one of my favorite songs.
Amen. One of my favorites too.
Yes. And I don't care what it is, you have to
what it is.
Yes, and it's got to be felt soul,
Have to learn that.
Yes. So, talk about those 5 kids that you had a house full of 5 kids, and what were you thinking? Were you thinking, Lord, can I do this, by myself?
Yes. I was thinking that, and this is something I share with the kids too. That Deborah, the journey that she was experiencing, with the cancer and everything, it was tiring. And she got tired. And I know, she said, I can go ahead and be with the Lord because I have trained this knucklehead so good. I have poured so much into him. He knows what to do. He knows how to carry on. He knows, and she knew that they were going to be my main focus, and that she knew I love the Lord. And so, and it's just, God has just given me just strength to be able to do that. And it's His grace has been so sufficient in this process. And I actually haven't missed a beat. I'm running like crazy, but it's good. And my daughter told me one day, my baby girl, she's 23 now, and she was like, Dad, you ought to write a book one day because what you do is just, you just do it with so much grace. But I share with them, no matter how good it may seem to them, it's because of God that I'm able to do what I'm able to do. because I'm totally leaning and dependent on him. And he just gave me the strength to be in the right places, to especially the relationship with the baby girl. I had to learn to stop being, I just couldn't be dad to her anymore. I mean, not totally dad. I had to learn how to be mom to her too.
Yeah.
You know, and she opens up to me. We talk about boys, some stuff that dads don't want to hear about their baby girls. You just have to just let it go. Let it go. But anyway, our relationship has just been so good, you know, with her and my son. And that's one thing I've invited them to do, to talk to me, to talk about their mom, you know, anything that's going on, I want to know about it.
Yeah.
So I've been favored to, I think, do a pretty good job by the grace of God raising these kids. Amen. And just being what I need to be for them.
That is awesome. That's awesome. Now, you took a little break from music because you had to really focus on your kids. And I see that last year, you wrote this song called COVID-19. Where did you come from? What was the impetus for that song? And I know it was a tough year for everybody. So what made you write that song?
Well, first and foremost, this young lady named Twanda Black actually came to me back in October, November, and asked me, you know, have I written any COVID songs? And I at the moment, I haven't. So, and I thank you for planting that seed, because as I began to write the song and the lyrics, I realized that I wrote this song out of a lot of pain that I've experienced through this process. Of course, you know, it was all different for us, and we didn't know how to handle or process it. But you know, March, April, May, June, you know, I just remember, you know, just waking up every morning and just going into my backyard and not going anywhere. And, you know, like COVID-19, where did you come from? What is this that has altered my life, not allowed me to be free anymore? Where did you come from? And how long are you going to stay here? I mean, I want to get back to normal, you know? And so I began to write because I was in a bad place mentally, March, April, May, June, and July. I mean, I had this turtle mentality, and a lot of us did, because, you know, you were told to stay in. But when I say turtle mentality, you know, my head was in the shell, my arms were in the shell, feet was in the shell, and just here. And so what the inspirational piece in the song, I remember a line in The Shawshank Redemption when Andy Dufresne was talking to Red, and he told Red, you know, get busy living or get busy dying.
Whoa. Yeah. So
I had to come to a point, okay, you need to get busy living or get busy dying. Yes, do what they say do. Protect yourself, be cautious, but there's a way to live in this. And God convicted me too with the song too. I was just plain scared, fearful. And, you know, he didn't give us the spirit of fear, even though we're going through something different, you know. He said, it's okay to be cautious, but you're just plain scared. You need to get out of that. You need to help other people get out of that. You need to show people that they can live through this, but do what the authorities tell us to do. Protect yourself. But like I said, mentally I was just in a bad place. So this song, writing this song, you know, to talk about some of the dark experiences I had. And I'm just going to be practical, be real with you just for a second. There were a lot of times I didn't even want to. My hygiene was not good. Yeah. I didn't even feel like taking a bath. I didn't even feel like breaking. I mean, that's just where I was.
There's a lot of people like that. You weren't,
and you know, exactly. And so that's what the song was birthed out of my pain. And at the end of the day, you know, we still got to turn from our wicked ways. We still got to repent. We still got to acknowledge God as our Lord and Savior, and we got to trust Him.
Yeah.
We got to trust Him.
Yeah. Yeah. The song is beautiful. You do ballads very well.
Thank you.
Is that your preferred choice in tempo of music?
It is. It is. It used to be, you know, when I was hanging out back in the day, and actually friends didn't want to ride with me. It was like, hey man, we know, hey, you know, you need to play something a little hardcore. You know, so I had to learn how to, you know, not do that with my friends. You know, just when I'm hanging out with girlfriends or whatnot. But that's kind of like where it all started. Those love ballads, they just speak into life. You know, talk about love and relationships and just being together, being close. And so yeah, those are some of my favorite. Love ballads are some of my favorite.
Yeah. I know that you got one more child in the house. Are you going to continue working on your music, or are you going to kind of focus on that kid and then wait until after? But in the meantime, you could be writing, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, focusing on him is a number one priority right now. And you know, I look at my age sometimes. You know, in a couple of years, I'll be 55, 56, and you know, sometimes we think that clock is ticking and we're running out of time. But you know, God spoke to me about how He used Joshua in his older years, so He's like, you know, don't even worry about that.
That's right.
But my son, I sung, I performed, I ministered one of the songs I wrote at the Calvary Auditorium one night, Lord of the Heavens, and my son, he came home. He said, Dad, do you realize you could be one of those guys, you know, like Kirk Franklin? And he started naming off some others.
Wow.
And I was like, you know, it's nice that you would say that. I said, but you're my priority right now. And then he was like, they make a lot of money. I said, well, Jay, no, everybody doesn't make a lot of money, you know, in the gospel realm singing. You know, that's only right. Certain people. So we began to look up some of the net worths or whatnot. And we looked up Kirk Franklin, you know, Marvin Sapp and people like that. And Jay was like, wow. He said, Jay, that's a lot of money. I said, Jay, it's a lot of money, but it's not enough to take me away from what's going on with you right now. And he was like, you mean to tell me I'm more to you than $4 or $5 million? I said, yes, you are. Wow. I said, it's about, you know, nurturing you right now and, you know, getting you out of high school. And then after that, you know, maybe I can look into the music career a little more seriously and continue to trust God that this voice continue to hold up a little bit. And, you know, and so it's just one of those things that we're going to trust God, because there's some aspirations I've always had as a recording artist, and a few things I wanted to do. And once I experience those, I want to sit back and give others opportunity who never would have had the opportunity to have their music exposed. So that's some of my goals.
That's right. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Tell everybody where they can find COVID-19. Where did you come from? COVID-19, where did you come from, is on all digital streaming sites. Well, I can't name all of them. I named a few. Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, CD Baby. You can actually go on YouTube and see and type in Kevin R. Dunn, and you actually can see the video that was made for COVID-19. Where did you come from? A lot of work and creativity went into that as well. And so I would love for you to go to one of those digital music sites and purchase a song. And I know you'll be blessed by it, not because my name on it, but God's name on it. And so I would love for you to be able to do that. So also let people know where they can find you in case they need somebody to come minister at their wedding or, you know, whatever, collaborate with you.
Okay, I can be reached on my website as well, dunnforyouministries.org, and my last name is DUNN, the number 4 letter U, ministries.org, and there's a contact link on there. There's also a contact link on there as well if you would like a hard copy of a CD. There's a link where you can pay, and we can send you that as well, even though so many people are not listening to CDs, but a few still are. So you can contact me via that website, or you can send me an email at dunnforyou@charter.net, and you can get in contact with me that way as well. I'm also on Facebook as well, Kevin R. Dunn, the musicians page. You can connect with me on Facebook and Instagram as well.
Oh, you know what? You might find Kevin out on the golf course somewhere. He loves to play golf.
You know, a guy asked me yesterday playing in a tournament. He said, hey, do you play golf as well as you sing? I say, sir, if my golfing game could come up to a quarter to what I've been blessed with to sing, I'll be totally happy. That is a WIP work in progress, but I love doing it. Love being out in nature. It's very therapeutic. It takes you away, and I just love seeing the landscape, the water, and the trees. It's just very therapeutic for me, and I love it. And when I hit the ball good, it's even better.
I have friends like you who absolutely will do anything to go play golf. So yeah. I understand. Well, look, Kevin, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate your time and I appreciate your ministry. We're looking forward to what is going to happen with you in a few more years. We're going to keep watching you, all right?
Amen. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you and your time. And I'm eternally grateful for what you're doing to expose what God has placed in my life. And I appreciate you so much as well.
God bless you, man. Love you.
God bless you too. Love you too, lady.
Thanks so much for joining me today on Good News with Twanda Black. If you'd like to be a guest or you know someone who'd like to be a guest, please reach out to me at Twanda Black at thepgnetwork.org. That's Twanda Black at thepgnetwork.org. I'll see you next time. God bless.